I'm going to put the T-fitting here through the grommet, right there. We're going to open up the rib lock, and the T-fitting drops right in to the lock. Then we're going to close the lock and pin it shut. Just like that. All right, the next combing piece, and again, that piece is designated by bow. And what we're going to do is we're sliding this combing piece into the fitting, and we want this screw head to end up in that hole in the fitting right there. Okay, then we're going to put the T-fitting through the grommet, open up the lock, shut the lock, and pin it in place. All right, so now I'm going to put on the next piece of combing. That just slides right on there like that. Again, that screw head lines up right into that hole right there. Again, the grommet over the T-fitting, the T-fitting into the lock, and we shut the lock and we pin it shut. Now the next T-fitting, grommet over the T-fitting, open the lock, shut it, pin it. Now we're going to put on the stern combing piece. We're going to slide that onto the end, same thing. The hole lines up with the screw head here. Now we're going to put the T-fitting through the grommet, T-fitting into the lock, lock it, and pin it. Just like that. Now we're going to take this fitting here and we're going to hook it right onto this right there. Just like that. I'm starting at the bow again, and I'm going to put on all of the left side combing pieces. So we'll just simply make the connection there. Again, the T-fitting through the grommet, T-fitting into the lock, lock it and pin it. Now the next piece again, and I just simply slide that together. Again, I'm dropping that screw head into that hole, T-fitting through the grommet, T-fitting into the top of the lock. I lock it and pin it. Okay, now I'm going to put on the next combing piece, and the reason that we have these 4 carriage bolts in the combing, and again those 4 same carriage bolts are on the identical same side, is we've set this boat up to accept a Baylog Batwing sail rig. So that's what those are for. All right, we're going to go ahead and just slide that on like that. Again, grommet over the T-fitting, T-fitting in the lock, and pin it in place. Moving on down. Next, grommet over the T-fitting, lock it, pin it. All right, the last stern combing piece slides on, grommet over the T-fitting, lock it in place, and pin it. And okay, then the final connection, we are just hooking that onto rib number 7. Okay, last piece we're going to put in on down on this end is the boomerang. And the boomerang just drops into place like this. So you have 3 screws pointing towards the middle of the boat. Those 3 screws are for hooking over the grommets, like that, just like that. Okay, we're going to move down to the other end of the boat. I'm going to go ahead and tuck in the coaming rubber into the coaming. Just like that. And we'll go ahead and take our boomerang for the front, drop it into place, just like that, and hook the grommets over the 3 screw heads, like that. Now we'll go ahead and tuck in this coaming rubber on this side. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and blow up the air tubes, and we never want to blow up the air tubes completely hard on one side and empty on the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow up the air tube about halfway on one side and halfway on the other side. So you can see that earlier we had put our inflation tubes through the 2 stringers of the gunnel. That's where they belong, here. Okay. All right, that's about half full on that side. Okay, now we've got those tubes blown up, and the reason that we're doing that, blowing the tubes up halfway on one side and halfway on the other, is if the boat were to come with keel strips, then it's important that we blow the sponsons up like that, because if we blow one tube up all the way, we're actually pulling the whole hull off to one side, and then the keel strips that are on the bottom of the boat are pulling off of the areas that need to be protected. All right, now we got the tubes, the sponsons inflated. I'm just going to take the inflation tubes and just tuck them out of the way here. Just stick them up forward of rib number 5. All right, that completes the assembly of the long haul folding canoe. Now, go out and enjoy your boat. Okay, now that we've assembled your boat, let's go ahead and start the disassembly process for your folding canoe. Okay, the first thing we're going to do in disassembling your folding canoe is we're going to let the air out of the air sponsons. All right, now that we've released the air pressure in the sponsons and the skin is relaxed, we're going to go ahead and pull out what I call the coaming rubber. Okay, now we're going to start taking the coaming off the canoe. Taking off the boomerang. We're going to pull the pin in the rib lock. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take the seats out. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the 3 center ribs. I'm knocking off the rods off the ribs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take out rib number 4. Rib number 3 comes out. And rib number 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect some of the rods here in the center of the boat. All right, I'm going to disassemble the gunwales. Now I'm going to go ahead and unlock the keel. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull out the rear half of the boat. And it doesn't matter how you do, you can pull out the front half or the rear half, like this. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and pull out the front half of the frame. I'm going to grab all the rods and just slide that out like that. I'll go ahead and take off the 4 more rods. Now I'm going to go ahead and take out rib number 2. Popping off the rods. Now taking off rib number 1. I'll go ahead and take off the gunwales. Take off the deck bar. Rods off the stem. Stem off the keel. Same procedure on the rear half. Take the rods off. them off the keel. All right, now that we've disassembled the boat, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fold the hull up and put it into the hull bag and pack the frame parts away. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about folding of the skin, and this is always real important, how you fold your skin. So basically we're going to lay this thing off on its side. Like this. And then our first folds will always go beyond the bumper. This is the bumper here. We're going to make sure that our folds go beyond the end of that bumper, which is right here.